the first key to success, if you really want to get rapid value realization using Agile, establish a common basis in training. Invest, whether it's a day, ideally a couple of days, to get everybody on the team and your executive leaders. Get them in for lunch. I do this all the time, where, hey, we're training our team, but we would like you to talk to our executives. They're very short on time. Good, feed them. I will talk to them for 45 minutes and tell them how valuable their engagement is in this process, but make it part of the training, okay? You want to have a common basis of nomenclature, understanding. If everybody went to the same training and you understand what a backlog is, and you're saying, hey, sprints, iteration, oh, we all know that means the same thing. That's very valuable. You don't end up wrestling with the nomenclature or the fact that, well, I went to Scrum Master training, okay, well, I went to a different kind of training. Get on the same page. So that is step one. Common basis in training can be very powerful. Step two, you need some evangelists. I think back, I spent some time at Promega Corporation here in town, about 6.5 years, and that's where I first had the opportunity to work with Agile. And there were a group of us that were, we were successful with it. We were beginning to evangelize to others in the organization. But then a leader came in, and this person had worked at what used to be Burby. She was a VP doing delivery of technology projects and had had a lot of success using Agile. So she came in and became the senior leader over marketing and IT and wanted to use more Agile framework and practices. And what was great was that she came in and found this grassroots movement of evangelists who were like, awesome, we have a leader who wants to do this. There's a bunch of us that have been successful with it. Let's bring these things together and help get the word out to the rest of the organization that this is a good alternative to some of the other ways of delivering projects. The other thing that's cool is that this is a big change. So much of what we do in our organizations is support of change or driving change or somehow related to change. And we all know what change causes uncertainty and doubt. But if you have evangelists who can spread the word and say, hey, we've been successful with this. I can help coach you. I can give you examples of how things have gone well. It helps to tamp that down. The fear, uncertainty, and doubt is less of a thing. Now, I want to ask the room a question from your experience. And again, this is not Agile specific. This is just thinking about evangelists. Who make the best evangelists? Yeah?
Long-term members of the culture.
Long-term members of the culture can be great evangelists. Who else make great evangelists?
People who are just coming in and have no idea about the culture.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Has anybody here ever quit smoking? I did a really, really long time ago. I mean a really long time ago. But I remember quitting smoking, and the people who were the most passionate evangelists for quitting smoking were who? The people who most recently quit. So we have a couple of great examples here. People with long-term experience in the culture. People, say yours again?
Well, it's somebody new, well, like your vice president in your example a minute ago.
Yeah.
Who don't know the culture, but they know what it's about.
Right.
What Agile's about.
Yeah, they've been successful with it elsewhere, and they want to bring it in and say, look, we believe this can be successful here too. And recent converts, people who perhaps have spent most of their career working using other project methodologies and have had a recent success using Agile. So think about those people in your organization and leverage them as evangelists. Next is executive support. Now, again, this is not in any way unique to Agile. Any major initiative within an organization benefits significantly from consistent executive support. Unfortunately, a lot of executives suffer from shiny object syndrome. We know how that works. This is like the most important thing in the company. Squirrel. Yeah. That's the most important. So the key thing is, and one of the most powerful examples for me had nothing to do with Agile. It was an SAP implementation. But it's powerful as an example because the board sat this CEO down and said, look, we're going to implement SAP. And your support is going to be crucial at the start of this thing. Your support 12 months from now when everybody is sick of this thing is going to be even more critical. So when you think about Agile and an Agile transformation and trying to bring that in as a methodology, constant executive support is very, very important. Third key. The fourth key, rigor and discipline. It sounds very intimidating. The thing is, Let me tell you a story. The first real functioning Agile team I ever worked on. We dabbled with it at this organization, and then this group of us were responsible for delivering some middleware, connecting a new enterprise resource planning system to the e-commerce website. We were building that middle piece that sends information back and forth. So everybody had been trained in Agile. We were using Scrum as our methodology. I was the Scrum Master. We get to the end of our first sprint. It's been very effective, good stand-ups, very tight. And we had a demo that afternoon. So as part of the stand-up that morning, everybody did their, hey, this is what I did, what I'm doing, impediments, and also expressed their readiness to demo what they were building. First 4 developers did their thing. The fifth guy, his name's Dave, said, yes, blah, 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 and I'm done except for, and except for came out of his mouth, the rest of us nearly tackled him. Why? There is only done or not done in Agile. We have to enforce a rigorous definition of done. Remember the wedding cake? The only way that you can reach a state in the project where the product owner can say, hey, I'm satisfied with what's built, I believe that we can bring the project to a close and deliver value now, is if you have been adhering to a rigorous definition of done all the way through the project lifecycle. What happens, how many of you have credit cards? Of course, we all have a credit card. Let's assume you pay it off every month, and then one day you say, you know what, I'm going to pay off all but $100, and you do that for 12 months. What do you end up with after 12 months? You have how much debt? You think you got $1,200, give or take, but we all understand the interest. I have not yet done the research on this, but I promise you I will, that somehow technical debt also accrues interest. It just does. I can't prove it with math, but I know from experience. So the thing here is rigor and discipline. When you get to the end of a sprint, everything has to be done. Everything has to be tested. Everything must pass whatever the team and the product owner have agreed on are conditions of completeness. If that includes documentation, if that includes documented code, if that includes a lap around the track, whatever, you must stick to your rigorous definition of done, or you run the risk of accumulating technical debt, which will bite you when you want to release, whether it's as scheduled or in that wonderful scenario where you can release early. But again, rigor and discipline on this is part of being in a position to realize rapid value realization using Agile. The fifth is ruthless prioritization. If, like I have, you spend 25 years in a particular profession, you have certain things that start to become kind of your personal soapboxes in the profession. One of mine is prioritization. I think that is where a lot of organizations struggle. I had a great conversation with someone yesterday who was talking about why are we pushing 20 rocks 1 inch a day when we could figure out how to push 3 or 4 rocks several feet per day. And that is what is the essence of ruthless prioritization. To be successful in Agile, to see rapid value realization, your organization must be able to ruthlessly prioritize. That means you may have 10, 15 projects. You have to put them through the ringer and figure out which are the vital few, and yep, that means that we might end up making a customer mad. That means that we might have to advocate to cancel a senior executive's pet project, or at least put it on the back burner, because they're just not value creating and could in fact be distracting from the other projects that could help us deliver rapid value. So organizations, to be successful using Agile to deliver value rapidly, have got to learn how to ruthlessly prioritize. That is absolutely critical. That's the fifth key to being successful with Agile and rapid value realization.